Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. What's up? Do not forget to hit that like and subscribe button. So today we're doing a watch me work. I am doing my nails over. This is an old set. So I wanted to take you guys through my process of what I do when I do my nails. So from start to finish. So what I'm doing now is I'm just removing these rhinestones. It was a little difficult to take these off, these big stones. So once I'm gonna take all that off, I'm gonna begin my soaking process. Once I remove my stones, I go ahead with the Young Nails drill bit. I can leave a link in the description box below. It's the products removal bit. This bit is really good if you're trying to take off product really quickly. Just be careful. It is extremely sharp. Like I used it on myself for a while before I even used it on a client because you can seriously hurt someone and cut someone with this. So it removes product very well. So the trick to soaking off quickly, people think it takes about an hour to soak off acrylic nails. It doesn't. So what I do is I use this bit and remove that product as much as I can so I can speed up my soaking process. Once I have that product down a little bit, I'm going to take a nail clipper and just clip down because I don't care for my nail. I don't care to keep them. So I always just file down and clip off the edges. And then I wanted to take a little bit more of the product down as much as possible. So I'm gonna go ahead back in with that same drill bit and just keep filing down a little bit. So I only have a little thin layer of acrylic that needs to be soaked off. So once that is complete, I'm gonna take 2 bowls. I'm gonna fill one up with hot water, and then I'm gonna place another bowl on top and fill that up with acetone so I can soak. I'm gonna put a little oil on my hands. This helps with having any of that leftover residue, you get on your fingers when you soak, and cover with the towel. After about 20 minutes, maybe 25, all that product comes right off. So I'm just gonna file that all off. Once I'm done and washed my hands, I'm gonna clip my natural nails and round them out. If you are doing any type of shaping that the nails are a little bit narrow, you wanna make sure the natural nail is round because the square nails will start to eventually grow out of the sides of like a coffin or a stiletto. So I just clip off my nails and round them out with the 240 file, very soft, very gentle. Then I'm gonna go with a cuticle pusher and just push back my cuticles. Now I'm using a fine carbide bit to just remove cuticles. And mind you guys, this is how I do my nails. I've been doing my nails for a very long time. I know how I like, what I like, how I want it. I wouldn't recommend using a carbide bit on a client, but my cuticles are very thick and they tend to grow up high. I keep my nails on, I don't soak off often, so they tend to grow. So I need a carbide bit so I can be able to get everything off. After I use the carbide bit, I'm gonna use the cuticle bit to make sure that I get everything else off, and then I'm gonna go in with the sanding bit. And I'm sorry if I'm a little out of shot sometimes when I'm doing my other hand. I have to pull my hand a little bit closer to see. So I do apologize throughout the video if it's a little out of shot when I'm working on the hands. It's very hard to do my own nails and film at the same time. So now I'm going in and I'm just gonna nip all those little fuzzies of cuticle and skin that I have around my nail before I begin. And then my nails will be fully prepped for the application. So after my nails are fully prepped, what I like to do on my nails is I don't like to use a nail tip. This is just a preference. I found that my nails last longer, I get a better shape. I create a kind of a base layer using nail forms. So what I'm going to do is put nail forms on all my nails and do a super, super thin layer of clear. I remove those and then shape that, and then I'll actually put my colored acrylic on top of that. This also helps me as if I want to switch out my colors or my design, I'll always have that thin layer of acrylic that I can drill down to. Like I said, I feel like this gives me a better shape and it kind of caters to the natural nail shape a little bit better than just using a tip. Now I'm just gonna apply a little dehydrator and bonder to my natural nail plate. I'm gonna do 2 coats of bonder, and I do one hand at a time. And if you don't know, just a tip, if you are slow at doing acrylic or you're doing yourself, you should not prime both hands. Primer tends to wear off the natural nail plate after about 30 minutes. So you don't wanna prime the hand and you're not gonna get to it in that time frame. So what you can see me doing is I'm basically not even putting the acrylic by my cuticle. I don't really care about that area. I don't want it to be too fat and bulky. So what I'm basically doing is giving myself an extension. All I care about is that connection of my natural nail to the form and making sure that all of my nails will be the same length. I'm keeping it square because it's easier for me to monitor the length that way, and then I'll change the shape once this is off. But it's super, super thin. It's paper thin. And I wanted to slow this down for you guys. I know this video is a little bit long, but I wanted you to see more carefully what I'm doing. I didn't want to speed it up too much, so you can watch my process. So once that hand is complete and dried, I'll remove the forms, and then I'm going to repeat this process on my second hand. Once both hands are done, you see it's super paper thin. I'm gonna go ahead and shape them now. So I'm looking for a stiletto look. So I use nail clippers to just give me that shape, and then I'm gonna file, shape my nails, make sure everything's nice and even. So once I file, make sure everything's even. I like how it looks. Now we can go on to the fun stuff. So for this, I'm gonna be doing, this is my holiday nails. Well, one of them anyway. So I'm gonna be using some red Valentino acrylic and one of the nudes from the Victoria's collection. I wanted a little bit more of a sparkle to the red. So I'm gonna customize this acrylic a little bit by adding some just red glitter that I have to the red acrylic and blend that in with each other. I'm gonna go with some Swipe from Young Nails to just cleanse my nail plate from all the dusting. And then I'm going to grab my stuff so I can get started with my application. I do dehydrate and prime again, because remember, I didn't put any acrylic by my cuticle. So after all the dusting and everything, I just wanna make sure that the actual acrylic that I'm gonna be using is gonna adhere to my nail plate. So I go ahead again with 2 coats of bonder for both hands. I'm gonna be doing the ombre with the red for my pointer and my pinky fingers, and then the rest are going to be just the nude color. So when working with colored acrylics, you kind of have to think about your process, because one, any type of color, it's very pigmented, it's going to stain the other nails. I have a very light color and then a red. So I have to start with red, because as you can see, it's staining my monomer. So once I finish that, then I'm gonna go with the regular acrylic, the regular nude color, and do the other 3 nails. Then I'm gonna go back to ombre out the pointer and the pinky, because again, once that monomer hits the red as I'm trying to ombre it, it's going to bleed onto the other nails. So you want to think a little strategically when you're using very pigmented colors. So I wanted to leave this part in just to show you guys that it doesn't always work out. So after I ombre my pinky, I really liked how it looked and it made me really not like the pointer finger. So off camera, you can see me before it's set, I was scraping it off because I wanted to redo it. So sometimes you have to, we're not perfect. So, stuff happens, but I wanted to leave this in so you just kind of see my process again. Now I'm going back in to try to fix that nail that I didn't like. And then I kind of got it how I wanted to, so I was fine with it. Lastly, I'm taking a little bit of clear and I'm just going to lightly encapsulate the ombre nails. So again, you see me doing many layers, but I'm working very wet beads. So it's not building up. My nails aren't super thick and bulky. Again, I know how I like my nails. I know how thick they need to be for it to last while I'm working and so on and so forth. But it's very wet beads because, like I always say, if your application is close to flawless, I have to file as little as possible. So sometimes I'll also use the clear layer to build up my apex too. So before my nails were very flat, those two nails. So now I'm kind of building it up and building with the structure using the clear as opposed to at every layer of the acrylic. Once all that's done and set, I'm gonna go and file, shape, buff, and everything, all 10 nails. Okay, so now the fun part, designing. So I wanted something simple. I am a bling girl. I love rhinestones. That's just my preferred method. So I wanted to create something a little bit more Christmassy. So I'm kind of building up a nail that's gonna have a little bit of foil. It's gonna have some rhinestones, some jumbo ones. So I'm going ahead and prepping for that. So I like to take out what I'm gonna do on my two main fingers. So I have everything there just ready to go and grab, and I'm not shuffling through all my rhinestones trying to find this color, this size. So when I have like two ring fingers that I'm doing, I like to just put two little piles together so I know what is gonna be on. I don't really know when I use the other ones what I'm gonna be doing, so I like to just open up a little bit of everything. Sometimes I use everything, sometimes I don't. But again, so I'm not shuffling around looking for stuff. I just like to keep everything open because for the other stones, it's kind of random. So I'm gonna wipe my nail plate, make sure it's nice and clean. I'm gonna put a little bit of Mia Secret Bonder. I use that before I polish. And then I will use some base coat. And again, I'm gonna be doing one hand at a time because you know base coat is tacky, and as I'm digging through stuff with one hand, I don't want it to stick to my nails. So I do one whole hand completely, and then I'll do the next hand. The first step I'm gonna do is take a little bit of gold glitter and put that on my nail. And without curing it, I'm going to take some foil pieces and just place them randomly. So this is a double-sided foil that I got on Amazon. One side is red, one side is gold. So I'm placing it on the nail and kind of denting it and tapping it so I get little speckles of red and gold as well as big pieces of red and gold. And again, I didn't cure this, so this is on top of the wet gold glitter because I want that foil to set within it. I don't want to have to do another layer of top coat to have the foil set, so I'm trying to make this as thin as possible. After that, I like to do my big stones first because if you've worked with big rhinestones, they slide and glide everywhere. So I'm using the Macart gem glue just for my big boy stones, and I'm gonna place those in the middle of the nail and then cure that. After that's cured, I'm gonna use more of that bling glue, and now I'm gonna place it all over the rest of the nail because I don't usually know, again, where I'm gonna be placing stuff, so I just put it all around. And now I'm just taking random stones and placing them all over the nails, scattered in a nice little kind of in the center of the nail. I'm done with that hand, so now I'm going to repeat this entire process on the next hand. After both hands are complete, I'm gonna go ahead with some top coat to apply on all the nails. I do cover my rhinestones with top coat. You'll see when I get to that nail, I use a lot of top coat. I make sure I'm in all those nooks and crannies. I'm dabbing it into, make sure I have very large stones. I want to make sure these guys don't go anywhere. So after I have a lot of top coat on, I will take a little acetone on a brush, and anything that ran on my edges and around my cuticle, I'm going to wipe that off. I don't want that to cure, and then I'll cure that. Once everything is done curing, I'll add some cuticle oil, lotion on my hands, and here is the final look. I love them. They're good. They're nice and red. They scream holiday, but not too much. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.